In Shadowkeep, both high impact pulse rifles and rapid fire pulse rifles are getting a buff. Currently, they hit for about 21.4 per headshot, and they're going to get buffed to 23.8. While that small addition in numbers doesn't sound too impressive, it's actually a very monumental buff. These things are going to be hitting like a truck. Look at the numbers on screen. So right now it hits 64.2 damage a burst, and it will cleanly 3 burst if they have low to medium resilience. In Shadowkeep, however, you're going to be 3 bursting every single time. But it gets worse. Imagine kill clip on this newly buffed rapid fire frame. It's going to hit 92.8 per burst. And while this isn't a perfect 2-tap with Foe Tracer or One-Eyed Mask, Clever Dragon is back. The Clorox Dragon returns. The weapon featured in today's video is called the Horror's Least, and you can obtain it from the Corrupted Nightfall Strike. As far as rapid fire pulse rifles that you can put a mod on, like an Icarus mod, a Counterbalance mod, a Sprint Grip, etc., there are only 3 current ones. The Claws of the Wolf from Iron Banner, the Horror's Least from the Corrupted Nightfall Strike, and the Outlast from Reckoning and Gambit. The differences between the 3 are really just the stat package and the sights. You can get pretty similar perks on all 3 of them, so if you want Kill Clip and Rangefinder, you can pretty much have it your way. The crazy thing though is if you take a look at your collections, all of the year 1 rapid fire pulse rifles have better sights and a better singular perk in the form of Quick Draw. Quick Draw is so useful on a pulse rifle. Quick Draw is useful on every gun, and you just cannot get it on a rapid fire frame. Probably a good balancing decision, whether or not it was intentional. In Shadowkeep, the effective range of pulse rifles is going to be changing, so who knows exactly where they're going to fit in the meta. Here lies the problem with the current selection of rapid fire pulses. They all have fixed sights. It's not like you can just put a longer zoom scope on it or a shorter zoom whenever the map is convenient. You have to rock whatever they have. Remember, the point of this series is to try to put a weapon on your radar that you might have forgotten about or overlooked when Shadowkeep arrives. So I will say, get yourself a decent rapid fire so you at least have something to hit the ground running with, but I wouldn't say grind all day for a perfect Horror's Least. Like, if you're going for a spare rations, you go ahead and just pick up the Outlast. It's not a big deal, it's not that big of a difference. What I'm really crossing my fingers for is that there's a new rapid fire pulse rifle in Shadowkeep that actually features changeable sights. So if I want a close range, I can have it. If I want a sniper rifle scope on my pulse rifle, I can have that too. If you recall back to Destiny 1, there was a meta that featured almost exclusively rapid fire frame pulse rifles. And the problem with that meta is that they flinched you to the ceiling. So it wasn't really a skill meta, it was a who shoots first and roll the dice sort of meta. Comparatively, if the flinch isn't as bad in Destiny 2, I think I would welcome a rapid fire pulse meta, because at the end of the day, it's going to be mostly precision shots and it's going to be rapid tracking on their face, whereas a hand cannon is snap targeting. So if you overpull, but at least get the crosshair on their head within that 140 RPM or 150 RPM, you're still going to hit the shot. Whereas with the pulse rifle, if you over or underpull, you're just going to miss that damage and not get your time to kill. Another skillful aspect of pulse rifles is that when dealing with a target with almost no health bar, where you know 1 or 2 of the bullets out of the burst is going to kill them, what you can do is intentionally shoot them with the first 1 or 2 and then flick as hard as you can onto the next target so that you can share part of that burst damage, so that when you follow up with another duel, you already have a head start. Don't get me wrong, I totally understand the dad rifle meme and the fact that a lot of people use pulse rifles by standing as far away from the fight, not really contributing to the win. They're playing the ratio, degenerate strategies, etc. I get all that. I understand why pulse rifles are disliked. But my personal opinion is that when it's a pulse rifle versus pulse rifle, especially in close range, there are more opportunities to prove that you are a more skilled weapon user, at least when compared to hand cannon duels. I'm only mentioning this because I want to prepare my community, at least, not to have a knee-jerk reaction if half the community immediately goes to rapid-fire frames. On that note, that brings an end to the video, so I hope you enjoyed. I'm leaving the rest of this gameplay in until we ran out of medals and then cutting it there. As usual, I appreciate you all, so I will see you in the next one.
Zone C lost. Zone B captured. One after another. Zone C captured. You have zone advantage. Zone B lost. Fire team that fights together stays together. Who says warlocks are better with books than with guns? Okay, it was me, but I was lying. Rage is an excellent motivator. Zone B captured. You have zone advantage. 2 for 1. Zone C lost. Zone A captured. You have advantage. What can stop you if you fight together? Nothing. Keep this up and the battle is yours. Zone A lost. Zone C captured. You have advantage. Strength in numbers, Guardian. Excellent. Giant Lords. 6 fronts. The Twilight Gap, where Lord Shaxx earned his name. None fell more Guardians than you. You're breaking them. Zone C lost. You have advantage.